You would have thought I'd worked this thing out by now, right? So I was going to get a shot of me putting the last team kit. Anyway, last team kit's gone. Team Nero Bianchi Season 3, let's go.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Season 3. Welcome to Team Nero Bianchi. Guys, so what I want to do is kind of do this a little bit in 3 parts. I'm trying to organise a bit of a team ride in the next day or 2, so get you guys out and we can chat to the boys. But I kind of thought today I'd fill you in a little bit on a little bit of the backstory and how we're all placed. Bianchi do not financially sponsor any amateur bike racing team outside of Italy and the World Tour team. Genuinely does show that this is a iconic heritage brand that are willing to invest in amateur cycling. This whole game, right, and I shouldn't refer to it as a game that much, but it can seem like it a little bit, is a lot about personal relationships. The relationships that really have settled for me and I think given me confidence that's kind of transformed through to the team. You're gonna love this segue, guys. Did you like that? Did you like how I did that? I even timed that correctly. Yeah, so guys, Shimano are back involved. Hello Fluffy, hello Mitch. I want to turn this first video just into naming sponsors and who's involved. Obviously I'll go into more detail about Phil and Aptium. I'll go into the details of the Athletes Gel guys. But we've got time for that, guys. We've got a whole year for that. You guys want to talk about kit. Sponsors, blah, 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 blah. You're here for the kit chat, right? Well, so am I. Okay, so you know, obviously a big part of the previous edition's kit was the pattern, and the pattern really was the dominant design feature. I suppose what I wanted to do this time around is just show a bit of maturity, show a bit more restraint, because I knew we're on the Bianchis. The Bianchis the bike itself is quite loud, it's quite a dominant feature. So to have the loud patterned jersey doesn't quite, I think, fit with this bike really anymore. Also, I kind of think that concept, you're seeing some other teams do that now where the pattern is the main design feature. You're seeing teams do it and that's great, it's awesome, shows that they're all kind of having a go at stuff. But for me now, I think we don't need to do that. We've established that identity. Look, that hexagon pattern will always form part of this team, and it is just the nature of it, but, well, we've got to show some growth, and I think this does. For the colour palette, guys, I came back from a ride down at the farm about 3 months ago, and Catherine and Kira had been doing some stuff, just some painting, playing around with some paints. And I parked the bike up, and next to the bike was one of the paintings they did. And it had this deep blue, it had this kind of celeste-y colour and this sort of pastel-y pink. And I set the bike up next to it, I'm like, Christ, that looks good. So that's kind of where it came from. I actually put an image up, a Facebook image, cover art image the other day, and that's it, that's the painting. This is where everyone goes really close to the edge, I think, and pulls off. I'm not going to go that close. Crap, this is nice. Pity the road along Kernel's so rubbish to get here. Alright, I'll get a bike photo here. Back into vlogland for a second. Just wanted to comment on the ceramic speed thing, because that turned into a nice little comments firestorm, which was cool. I framed the question on Facebook: is it a waste of money, or is it some incredible performance game? Obviously don't know the answer to that yet, but I think the way people are viewing ceramic speed, from my perspective, is a little bit off kilter, because I kind of view it like, okay, so Dura-Ace, Shimano Dura-Ace is your iPhone, okay? And the ceramic speed stuff is like an app, like it's a Snapchat, an Instagram, or some dud app that you don't use. It's not a replacement for the iPhone. It is something that you use to either extend its capabilities, or you just never use it. Much more expensive app, I'll be honest. Yeah, I think that's important to say, because you are not treating it as if it's a group set replacement. It's not like I'm pitting Campy up against Tram or something like that. It's going to come with pros, it's going to come with cons that fit in around the ecosystem that is, as far as I'm concerned, the best group set on the market. And from there comes that question of, is it the best use of your money to get these quote-unquote marginal gains? It's a really interesting discussion, and you know, we can take this into the world of tires, wheels, you know, the list is endless, right? This is certainly a boutique premium duck attempt at those gains. Think of this as like one of those Grand Designs episodes where, you know, Kevin comes back to the place, you know, pretty much all the bedrooms done, the kitchen's done, but maybe that spare bedroom's not quite finished. That's kind of how we're placed, and I like being really honest with you guys about that. Perfect example, right, is the jerseys. The guys only have one jersey. The reason for that is, well, when Mercedes pulled out, the jersey order was in, so I had to pull the order, cut the order with the factory, redesign, and really we only had time to turn around the one jersey in time for nationals, really. So that's the kind of stuff that goes on. It's not as if you just sort of flick a switch, click your fingers, and, you know, there we are, all magically riding around in everything new. So that's what happens. But honestly, guys, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself about that stuff. Nationals is that, we'll get onto nationals eventually. But it is that type of thing. It's super important, it's a great challenge, blah, 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 but just don't stress about the whole look and feel of it. Just get a good ride in. Now, speaking of riding, the most important thing is done. We have the best riders in the country and the coolest guys. Let's go meet them. Now, this is part two. I noticed yesterday I said there are going to be 3 parts to this. I don't know what the third part was. There's not going to be. This is the second part. This is where we ride with the boys. As you've seen, we have charged on out here. Now, I'm really keen to chat to the lads. Problem is, we've just chopped off the whole way, so pulling this friggin' camera out and talking to anyone is, well, it's proving difficult. So, we may just get grunts and groans, other assorted fatigued noises. But you're coming along with us. We will endeavour to get some words out of... Oh, here we go. We have stopped. All right, hang on. Alrighty, well, before we resume shenanigans here, what do you got to say for yourself, Riley? Anything?
Just
This is it. This is the first bit people are ever going to see of Riley Field. This better be good.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Here it comes. This is going to be gold.
We're out here on River Road, on some of the best roads of the Northwest. Potentially, I want to say New South Wales. Yeah. And yeah, just having some good time out here, some big miles. Out here usually weekdays are pretty quiet and just not really a better place in the world to ride a bike.
And him. He's super sooky. He doesn't want to talk to us. Cue some very, very nice footage of a very, very nice road. I had these grand plans of introing the team. I'm not going to get a chance to do that. I picked the wrong ride. So a few new additions. Got this kid over here on the left. You're right. Who's making these rides particularly unvlog worthy. We've got the local behind me. We chatted to him earlier. Sammy Hill, Jordan Louis, Jay Vine, Jared Williams, and then we've got the big squad, and I'll intro them when we're down at Nationals. It's pretty exciting, guys. I'm just not that excited right now. Who's your pick for Rider of the Year?
Look, I'm going to have to go young Angus Corder. I reckon it's his year. Yeah. Breakthrough year, 2019.
I'm going to throw one at you. Jay Vine.
Like, can we stop at the fruit stall here for some water?
Yeah, we're stopping. Oh, thank God. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, we're not.
No, we're not.
No.
Not stopping. It's pretty exciting as the boys have put together the coaching camp again. It is on. A few dates, JC?
Yeah, 28th of Feb to 3rd of March, back down in Ginvine. Sort of in that period of time just before it starts to get cold again. So it's the week before peaks and 2 weeks before B2B. So similar format to last year's camp, just with a few improvements because that was the first one. So we got some feedback from that.
So realistically, it's, you know, you could do it as a double with 3 peaks, but it is probably more designed for B2B, for guys doing that. And we might have a surprise guest, a surprise international guest for you. Comment below. Who do you think it is?
A few people have asked me what the camp's like day to day and if it's appropriate for them. Chris put together 2 really good vlogs from the camp last year, one from day 1 and one from day 2 and 3. So if you can put them in the description, go and watch them. They give a really good insight into what it's like day to day at the camp and see if it's right for you. It's for everyone, but the team guys mostly do their own thing. We have different groups for all ride levels. So last year, Dan took a group. We had women in there, all ages, juniors, regrouping at the top of all the climbs. So really, even though the team guys are there, it's designed more for your club C and B grade level.
By the way, Jesse, did you mention how awesome your kit looks? Yeah, it looks freaking awesome.
Oh, stop.
So I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. Men wearing Birkenstocks. Should it be legal?
Yeah, what you say. I rate them. Back in the Skoda, season 3. Season 3, it's what old is new again. Oh, sorry. I'm totally going to film this because what we want to do a bit this year is spend a bit more time here in the... We need a name for this place. We'll play in my rear hub. It's probably done 20,000 Ks? So young Angus is going to show us... Now show us the play actually.
When the wheel is locked in and it's quick release, you can feel it a tiny bit, but it's about a millimeter each side. It's a very small amount of movement. It just kind of rattles a little bit when you ride it, especially when you stand up. So you can take it up, which is one of the benefits of a cup and cone system. If this were to happen on a cartridge bearing, which is more or less every other brand except Shimano, it's much less likely to happen on a cartridge bearing system, but if it does happen, you can't fix it unless you replace the bearings, whereas these, you can just take up the slack, which is cool. You need to open up the hub a little bit. So these aren't actually round, as many people might think. They're actually a hex. And then you just, sorry, take off.
What are they, 5 mils?
They are 2 5 mils. And this comes off. And that comes off. And you have this, which you can unscrew. This is where you adjust it. So if you unscrew it, then you can see the movement in there. And then when you screw it back up, it takes the play away. Now there's no movement. But you need to make sure you don't do it too tightly. So if you do it too tightly, then there's more resistance than you need. And obviously if it's loose, then it moves.
So how tight did you do that? That was like...
Really not that tight. So like you pretty much just go until the bottom's out and then you stop.
Oh, so do you feel that bit of resistance?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
You can use this if you want to like do it up extra tight, but I would never do that because you never need to. You just need to take up the play that's in there, and that's pretty much it. And then this just needs to go on. There are 2 flat notches on this axle here, which is quite hard to see, but if you can see it, they're there.
Oh, the 2 flat.
Yeah, one on each side, top and bottom there.
Yep, got them.
And then there's obviously a flat bit there. You just need to line up the flat bit with one of those flat bits, and then all of the teeth. So that just takes a little bit of trial and error. Make sure you get it right. It should just slot on, you don't need to force it. If you're forcing it, you're doing it wrong. And then you just thread these back in. And that's it, really. Pretty straightforward. But
so it's pretty much all about getting that resistance right, or the resistance, not the right word, but
the play
right,
yeah, the tension, you could say. And then you do this one back up. You can do this one up quite tightly. This doesn't affect the preload at all. This just holds everything in place, but obviously you don't want to go and wrench the thing as tightly as you can. So I don't know how many Newton meters that is. I would say maybe like 8 to 10, and that's that.
Yeah. Let's go and check. We're done. We're done.
We're done.
Actually, that is my goal for 2019. Get in a break and not get dropped from it.